Yeah, thank you for coming down.
We're rolling, yeah?
Does, mate, we've been rolling. We've been
We've been rolling.
We've been
rolling.
rolling.
Fuck it, there's me just late to the party. As always, just black my timing. But yeah, one.
No, it's all good. I do appreciate you coming down, man. I don't know. I feel like we haven't linked up for a while, actually. We haven't. I feel like I haven't. But then you've been busy. You've been doing a lot. I've been seeing it. It seems like every week I'm seeing your name on you doing this and this and this, and it's sick, man.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple months. Wait, no, weeks? No, months. Months.
Yeah.
Months. Yeah. It's been interesting, man. I mean, I've had time. That's one thing. Sorry, am I sounding clear?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I've had time, and like, the thing is, I've only had like a couple things in my diary, but it's just one of those things where literally, I think because I'm doing something, I may be seen as reliable, and then someone just gives me a shout. Obviously, I've not been able to do. I've not been able to do everything that people have asked me to do. Like, you know, obviously, I'm not saying anything's like beneath me, so to say, but like, I think what it is I'm trying to do is very clear.
Yeah.
And obviously, you need that. Obviously, you need to know what it is you're doing rather than just doing anything for the sake of it. You
Definitely.
get me?
It's very important, yeah, to if you get an offer or an opportunity to think, does this actually fit with what I'm doing and my image and that kind of thing. And like you said, not to do with is this beneath me or whatever, but just, you know what I mean? Like there's, there's obviously there's a time and a place for everything, but yeah, it's
exactly. Shout out Funky D on that, because to be fair, like from phone conversations we had one time, he said doesn't make sense, and then there was something he said that it just doesn't make sense, but then I just said in my head, you know what? Does this make sense? And I've just questioned that about everything that I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Funky, man. You get me? Raw guy, man.
Big shout out to Funky, man. Big shout out. Speaking of your past couple of months, you've recently had your first live show, gig, rave, whatever of the year.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Way, enlightening.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was ready. Like, I was literally out early that day. I was out from like 8 in the morning, went represent early to record pre-record. And like, I thought I was just gonna have no energy whatsoever. And I had energy for it. Like, it felt weird to be DJing for a crowd that sat down, but no one really sat down anyway.
I was you
know what I mean? Like,
I was going to ask you about the whole seated thing, but then, it's one of them things, isn't it, where it's like, obviously, you're meant to be, but realistically, it's, do you know what I mean?
How?
Yeah.
You get me? How? Like, it's one of those things where obviously I understand it, but by the time it got to a certain part of the night, especially where my set was from 10 to 11, literally after obviously England and Scotland.
Yeah.
Like, everyone came in, and like, I kind of went off the vibe of the last person I went off, shout out Duo. She was playing like Afro House, a bit Amapiano, I think, as well. And then like, I just came straight with UK Funky, and like, obviously for me, like, when it comes to DJing, like, I like to visualize myself in the crowd, innit? So I'm just getting amped up, and like, I could see people getting gas, seeing hands in the air, like, but man. I guess I just done what I could, you know, for what it was. Like, the thing is, I've been itching to touch dance since my last, which was March 2020. That was Keep Push with JOZ.
Oh yeah.
And obviously big up Joe. Sorry, I can't even be called in gobs like that. So yeah, big up JOZ though. But that was the last thing I'd done, and like, I was meant to have something planned obviously before Corona hit. But yeah, man, like, bro, it was good reception, got a lot of good feedback. As I said earlier, like, obviously, like, recorded with the GoPro, but then picked up the GoPro to find it was frozen, so obviously had no footage whatsoever. But luckily, I got some decent footage. Get me, big up Tia Talks, each and every. You get me, she got some clips for me. So yeah, man, that felt honestly, the whole thing was sick. Obviously, big love to Conair. You get me. My guy, like, he looked out for me, like, in the last couple months. Like, I saw him through everything that was happening at Wiley's studio, the Igloo. He followed me. I saw his set. Wasn't really too sure, but then I saw his set with Benteke, our late night shopper.
Yeah.
And like, that was it. I was like, yeah, this guy is, he is the fucking guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I went back to back with him at Modes on JOZ's show, and then even saw, like, I can't remember how I said this to you, but like, literally I was holding my hands in my face because like I couldn't believe like what I was seeing
Yeah.
as well as what I was hearing. Like, yeah, man, it's rare for me that like, well, it's not rare, but recently I haven't found DJs which have like excited me. I've been trying to find sick DJs. Maybe I've been looking in the wrong places. I don't know. But yeah, man, he's a DJ that just excites me, and I just really appreciate his style.
Yeah.
Really and truthfully. So big up Cornet, man. Yeah, each and every man.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, I think I know exactly what you mean about like getting excited by the DJ, because it's almost like it's not just about how you're mixing the tunes. It's not just about the selection. It's not. It's a combination of so many things, and it's almost like if even one of them things ain't there, it can just kill the vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had it when I've just been like practicing at home or whatever, and then like I'll be playing a tune and I'll be thinking this tune is going to be the one, but then but then it'll just be it might even be like, oh, do you know what, I should have changed the bass over earlier or something, and then I'm looking back and I'm thinking, it could have been more, but them DJs that just always just hit the spot, and it's just like it's so sick, man. It's so sick.
For real. But that actually being said, like, sorry, going back to that night, because I ran a lot of not a lot, I ran a couple of my own rhythms. But for me, it wasn't punching. I was just like, I wasn't really getting a reaction. I was like, right, but like, I could have swear like this was quite decent. But then you know what? Obviously, it's a learning curve, because obviously people that's like the first dance that people may have gone to since being in lockdown. You know, maybe it was just a selection. But what thing is, I found my tunes quite flat. So like, I just need to start mastering my tunes. I don't actually. You know, because obviously I want to do it properly. I want to learn it, but that's all the process. But you know what? Yeah, it's a learning curve, man. And yeah, obviously what you're saying, like, bruv, yeah, sometimes all you can do is just learn. You know, honestly, that's it. But obviously the ones which hit, you get me, you just put that in your top shelf.
Yeah, of course.
You get me?
So can you move the mic a little bit closer?
Sorry.
I'm just noticing that.
Can it not? Wait.
It should move. It should move.
Yo. I mean, it's not really like.
No, you should be able to bring it a little bit.
Oh,
closer.
You know what?
Look at that,
bruv. You know, fam. I'm so fucking heavy-handed. Yeah, I didn't want to just like drink the whole thing off. That's what it was. Sorry. That's all it was. Okay. So now I should actually sound alright. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No,
you
were sounding all right, but it was every now and then it just duck out, and I'm thinking,
my bad.
Hang on.
My bad. I'm inside now.
The guy's got some stuff to say. I don't want anyone to miss this.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. No. To be fair, you just touched on your own productions.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been? Sort of, and I know that, it's always, you already know what I'm going to say. And it's one of them where like, you ask anyone, and then they'll go, oh yeah, well when I was 14, I downloaded Fruity Loops. But like, how long have you been actually like, do you know what, this is it, I'm going for the production thing?
I mean, in that sense, it would be literally about maybe about since 2016.
Yeah.
If that. I mean, to be honest, like the way how I make rhythms is not great. Really and truthfully, I end up literally making like a good pattern or good sort of patterns, and I always say I gotta make a bridge. Then I get stuck at the bridge. I can never cross the other side. Nobody can cross it. You know, there was like, bruv, it's a mess. But sometimes I'll make a tune, I'm just able to just get just like that. You get me? Obviously, like I said, I want to be able to master my tunes.
Yeah.
I've thrown out a couple of bootlegs, and I've still got a couple more I want to throw out. I've got a cappella mix I want to throw out as well, but I'm just waiting for confirmation from the producers, because obviously, you get me, you can't just be doing that. Obviously, you got to respect them properly, innit?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I'm just waiting. Yeah, the waiting game is it's very long, but you know, it's part of life, I guess. You know, but yeah, sorry, but to answer your question in full, it's been about 5 years. Yeah, definitely.
No, it's some of the stuff now that like in the past, I don't know, like 6 months to a year that I've heard come from you. I'm like, this is sick. No, honestly, it's at that point where like starting to get exciting now, and it's like, oh, okay, I can start to sort of like hear your sound. And do you know what I mean? Like you know when someone finds their sound, like you can listen to like some early, you know, like productions or whatever for certain producers, and it's all a little bit like there's different ideas going on. But then as soon as they hit that point, and it's like everything's coming together nicely.
Yeah. Fully, I hear that. No, thank you.
Definitely, and I mean, and going back to what you're saying about the mixing and mastering thing, I've found something that, when I've been trying to get into the production, that's a completely different skill. In the sense that, like, just when I started getting comfortable with production, and then I was thinking, right, do you know what? I'm someone that I like to be able to at least have an understanding of the whole process. So I thought, do you know what? Even if I do send my tunes off to an engineer or whatever, I want to know sort of what's going on.
Of course.
But when I started trying to get into that, oh my god, it was just I'm just
trial.
So much is going on.
Trial and error.
Yeah, and it's just sort of all of a sudden you realise, it seems like there's like a million different tools in front of you, and you're like, what do I use? What does that do? How does that work? But did you say is it something that you've looked into much or
yeah, definitely. Mastering is one of those. Even literally yesterday, I was on a bus and I literally had to type in what does mastering do.
Yeah,
because I was literally thinking about my play out from last week, and I was thinking what happened was that I played one tune of mine which I did put a master on. And then I played a dub plate which I got which doesn't have a master.
Yeah.
And I just flipped between the two. And like I just remember hearing the dub and just thinking, raw, this sounds flat as a motherfucker.
Yes.
You get me? It was like raw. And so it just made me just think like, okay, how do I correct this, man? Honestly. But yeah, like the mixing part, like I find a lot easier. You get me? You just learn about compression, obviously levels, where things should roughly be. Obviously having a bit of a process, and like the thing is with mixing as well is just making sure to assign everything to the track and just get it done right there and then, rather than doing everything last minute. That's just what I've learned personally. Yeah, and for me it works. Yeah, but obviously mastering, like I said, that for me is just a whole alien thing. But for now. Slap a master on anything because you just don't know where things are gonna go. You don't know who's gonna need it. Like I've had my stuff played on multiple platforms. Like I remember Jay Fresh played something on Pyro of mine, and like it doesn't sound how it's meant to sound because there's not a master on it. Yeah. And like for me, that's just a fuckery because obviously it's like, you get me. I've just obviously gave it to him. Obviously it's like it's there on visual. You get me. It's there on YouTube, but I can't really say much because the audio sounds shit. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, so yeah, man, kids, just slap a master on for now, innit? Even if you can't get a master, so if you can't get an engineer to master your tune, you should just slap a master on. You get me? Yeah, man, deal with the rest properly when you're ready to release your tune, innit?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You know what I mean? Honestly.
Yeah. Right, do you know what? I'm gonna have to quickly pause because I think, to be fair, the GoPro's still. I think it's still active, you know? Is it still been flashing?
Yeah. Okay, yes, it's a steady flashing, right?
Yeah, that's good. All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's all blessed.
Do you know what? As soon as I hit that 1,000 subscribers and I can monetize and I can afford to have someone doing this for me, but until then, you're just going to have to put up with it. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, but just one camera, man. You get me? One good camera. Yeah. You get me? But hold tight GoPros, though. They tried.
Hold tight GoPros. I
know. We had this conversation already, but they tried.
We did.
They tried.
Nah, it's... do you know what? I think one thing that I've found with myself, which I see the same thing in you, is that like the way that obviously you've got a GoPro, you're filming your sets, you're sort of you're someone who's quite sort of hot on their equipment, like you know how everything works, you know how to sort of do it all. And it's like, and I remember that's one thing that Siatsim said to me from early. He said like a really sort of like important skill in what we do is just knowing how stuff works.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't even lie, no one even told me that, but shout out to Yatsim because that's 100% true.
Yeah, it's one of them things where you just sort of, I don't know, for a long time I was just sort of relying on like, if I show up somewhere the stuff just will work, but then when something doesn't, you're thinking, oh wait, I don't know what to do here, you know. And I've had it before when I've been doing a set and then, you know, something will go wrong and I'm looking and I'm thinking, I shouldn't be looking. I should be doing, you know. And it's sort of, bro.
But honestly, like there's so many occasions where that has been the case. I mean, even down to where I done the late night shopper, the Oblig night, was it a couple months back now? Fucking hell, when even was that? Well, anyways, like literally, the screen on the DJ mixer didn't show its parameters. It was just blank. Oh. And so like I just played that all by ear and just said, you know what? Okay, like I'm just gonna just give things a go and just see. And the thing is, no one would even notice. But obviously from how I know how I would use it anyway, I just said, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna just try it, just see what happens. You know, I mean, but there's so many occasions where stuff like that's happened. Like times I've had to go mode, didn't have headphones, and these times I didn't even use record box neither. Literally, it was just straight from the firewall. Yeah. and just mixing tunes. And the thing is, not a lot of people even notice, but a lot of people can't even do it. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, but like once you know how to use stuff, and like like things just easy. Like people wouldn't even know. And like the thing is as well, when you're speaking about DJ mixer, a lot of the stuff does the same thing, but it's about obviously how you decide to use it.
Yes.
Another example. So I'm not even slating Mode, by the way, because you get me. I will never forget what they done for me.
Big up Mode.
As
big
a
up
platform.
Mode.
You get me? Big up Mode every single time. One time I done a back-to-back with Lozzy C. It was a sick set, by the way. I wish I could like fucking link it, but it was a big set. And it was literally just one channel fader and the crossfader. And
Yeah.
but it was a sick set and we made it work.
Yeah.
Like we made it work. And like that's the thing, like a lot of people will probably have a fucking stress, like just have a fit and be thinking like, "Raw, I can't do this."
Yeah.
But like end of the day, like you get me, unless as long as there's faders there, like you get me, because a lot of people like have grown up on having to use what they've had. Sorry, no, making the most of what they've actually had.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, having access to stuff like Pirate, for instance. You know, you get me? This is brand new.
Yeah.
Reading truthfully. And so, yeah, so like back to what you're saying with Tiatsim, like it's true, man. Just got to learn everything, got to try stuff, you know. We've come from an era of making do with what we got. And obviously we're very privileged to have these kind of things on hand now, but at the same time, you know, yeah, moving, that's how I felt like I had to move forward. I had to just make the most of what I had. Like at this moment in time, I've not got a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you get me, but I have got decks. You know, not a lot of people have decks at home. You get me? And I think I've got a controller, but even still, a lot of people don't have controllers. You know, I had my GoPro for years and I did use it, but then I thought, right, this is shit. Like, but obviously I was only literally looking at it from a surface level. You know, obviously I wasn't thinking about editing, you know, post-production. You get me? I was just looking at the surface rather than saying raw. And again, shout out Funky D on that as well. Because literally, he was saying to me I should get to your talks to film my sets, whatever. But I was like, bruv, I got a GoPro at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. And obviously I'm not where I'm at when it comes to editing. Thing is, I probably will know how to edit. But I've just not got the software. And my laptop's shit. But at the same time, like I'm just making the most of it, man, and that's it. That's the approach that I think you got to have in life on the whole. Yeah, like it's not just what I'm trying to do as a DJ. You get me? That's just me on the whole. Yeah, man, be resourceful. As I've said in one of my videos on Instagram. You get me? It's literally the work from home #1. Be resourceful.
Nah, 100%, man. It's I think, to be fair, yeah, that isn't just in DJing, music, in anything. Like just having an understanding of how you can. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of times where I might have like a certain cable that you need will break, and then I'll be thinking, right, have I got anything else that I can sort of like combine to do you know what I mean? Like the amount of times that I've done it, right, I can use that adapter, and then I can use that on the other end, and then that will do you know what I mean? It's little things like that, and it's such a useful skill, because there's been times when if I didn't have that knowledge, I wouldn't have been able to, do you know what I mean, to do the set or record or whatever it might be.
Yeah, fully.
So like, do you know what? One thing I can always remember is, so, and to be fair, this was something that I wanted to touch on anyway, so I'm glad that this has worked its way in nicely.
Go
but
on.
My first ever time at Mode, obviously it was yourself
it was me.
that invited me down. So yeah, man. So first of all, big up for that, because that was. I must admit that was something for me where like I'd wanted for a while to go on Mode, but it was sort of like I was waiting for, again, touching on what we were talking about earlier, I was waiting for like when the time was right, when it made sense, and I thought, do you know what, I don't necessarily want to just be like asking every DJ, can I come on your set, can I come on your set? and then it was like sort of out the blue, like you DM me and I was like, sick, this is it, do you know what I mean, this is when this happens. And it was, and honestly, and still, like I know that we've said this before, but like if you listen back to that set, it's still a sick set, man. It's still
I
like,
haven't heard that one for a minute, you know. I can't lie, but probably guarantee. The thing is, I mean, shout out Krabs as well, wherever he is, man. He's been on my mind quite a lot recently, no homo. But like, yeah, he obviously like he's been away from the TL. But yeah, it was a sick set, man. Again, like I saw what you're doing on Insta. You get me? At your is that set up in a home? Is that a home setup?
That's my home setup.
Okay. Yeah, man. Obviously seeing you mix your vinyls and then like obviously again that's it. Like vinyls are a big part of music culture on the whole, but obviously as well, like from where grime came from, like you get me. You can't have grime and not have vinyls, in my opinion.
Yes.
And so obviously, people around our age like collecting vinyls, obviously showing that she can mix on vinyl. That for me is what stood out, and I was just like, okay, cool. Like he's got a good selection. He knows his stuff, and he actually loves music. And then from there, I was just like, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, man. Let's curate. Obviously, we missed one person because my thing was obviously 3 DJs back to back. Can't remember who I was trying to get, but yeah, it still made sense.
Yeah,
no, still definitely made sense. So that was the first time I saw Krabs mix as well. So yeah, big up him, man. Honestly.
And I still, well, again, what made me think of that was going back to the whole being resourceful and sort of using knowledge from other things.
Yeah.
I still remember right towards the end of that set, I think it was the jog wheel on the left CDJ. It just stopped being a jog wheel, basically.
No.
So I can still remember, like I was trying to like nudge a tune, and I was thinking it's not speeding up. So I thought, well, hang on a minute. If I was on Technics, I'd just pitch shift.
Yeah, exactly.
Pitch
yeah,
shift.
man.
And then I'm thinking, well, although, and I must admit, it's harder to pitch shift for me at least. I found
it's not as sturdy.
No.
Do
you know what? When I'm on the 1210s, it's just like you feel like you're getting a proper nudge with it. Whereas when I think obviously where there's no latency whatsoever on the CDJ, and it's just you got it's getting used to that. But like, yeah, and that was another thing. When it was there's been a lot of moments that have made me think like it's sick that I've taken the time to learn that so that I can then transfer it to that.
Just on that, excuse me. Just on that, like, going back to Tiatsim, there's not even just Tiatsim, but to use him as an example, because he's obviously come from the vinyl era, right? I remember the first time I went back to back with him, I just watched like how he mixed, and the way how he mixed is like how you would mix on a vinyl deck as opposed to the CDJ. And I think this is the case for a lot of DJs that come from vinyl, such as Spooky, Spiral, just to name a couple. Like literally, that's obviously how they've learned. And the thing is, they always mix flawlessly. You know, and so that's it. And so that's another reason why I do rate you, because the thing is, like, the fact that you've learned that from that, I can say the exact same thing. Like, literally, thing is, they didn't even need to say to me, oh, yeah, like, I came from vinyl, so this is what X, Y, Z. I literally just watched it and I was just like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't make me just say, fuck it, I got to go learn vinyl, because the first time I learned vinyl was back in 2014, 2015. Shout out my tutor, not even my tutor, my teacher. But he's not really my teacher. So wait, how do I put this? Basically, I learned DJing at Roundhouse in Camden, and well, not even learn, for fuck's sake. I basically put in the practical theory in there basically, because when I went there, I asked for help, and then my guy Pablo Casor, he literally said he doesn't need to teach me anything. And this is literally like maybe like the third, fourth time I ever touched CDJ. Before that, I was DJing at my best friend's club. Sorry, his dad's club in Cricklewood, a club called Heritage. But yeah, man, he was just like to me, yeah, you're not a real DJ until you mix a vinyl. And so I was like, all right, cool. I was like, all right then. You get me? Just up my collection one time. And then, yeah, I remember that first time trying to mix vinyl, man. Fucking oh. Wow. Yeah, man, humbling. Very, very, very humbling.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But that's the thing, though. But having that experience, like, it definitely does shape you, because like the thing is, like, not even a vinyl deck. You can put like a pair of CDJ 350s. You know, the one with like the screen is like that big.
Yeah.
Or even like like that big even. And like, you get me? People can't even mix off it. They wouldn't even like literally. They're probably looking at the visual information.
Yes.
And that's funny enough that I used to be against Rekordbox so much back in the day, but like, you know, obviously for me, my thing obviously is just organization. That's the only reason why I really use it. It just makes sense. Sorry if am I going on too bit? Or,
no, carry on.
So
carry on.
like Rekordbox, like I used to be against, because obviously seeing the waveform, I was like, bro, that's cheating.
Yeah,
you get me. But the thing is that I understand, like, and I understand even till now where people might say that. I saw Spyro must have put something on Insta saying like he said something about it, and then obviously Bear DJs was saying stuff about it, and I was just like, oh, like, come on, man. Like, it's not that deep. And the thing is as well, like, I don't think you can really give a fair opinion until you tried it yourself. And fair enough if they have. Yeah. You get me? Like, cool. But for me, it just makes sense, innit? Like, obviously, I've got a controller at home. I can't lie. If I had CDJ set up at home, I would, innit?
Yeah.
But I just got to give what I was given. Get me shout out my dad for that. Yeah, and so obviously for that I was just like, okay, let me just make playlists.
Yeah.
I just want to make the most of my selection. I've got music from like back from like 2009 onwards. Like, I was making the most of it, and yeah, it's worked out for me personally. I've been able to really go through my songs and play what I want to play, whether it's like old school stuff, other genres, you know, like the search function as well on the Nexus 2. Well, on all the decks, but Nexus 2s especially is obviously where it's easiest. In fact, no, and the 3000s now. Yeah, man, like, just, yeah, it's all these things. Yeah, thing is, I feel like I'm somewhere in between the new school and the old school. Because like, I understand the old school, but at the same time, like, I feel like the new stuff should be here to be used to its full potential.
Yeah.
You get me?
No, definitely.
You know, like, I done my first show, like, sorry, my first set with 3000s at Represent last week. You get me? Check out the show. You get me featuring RYZ. Very, very good show, man. But yeah, like, first time using 3000s is just like raw, like, such a step up. You know, some people don't care. Fair enough, cool, like, you know, decks are decks, but like seeing like the advancement like just excites me.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It's yeah, I totally get what you were saying about like why would you almost like reject the technological advancement?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's like it's not saying like, oh, let's throw all the techniques in the bin and never touch vinyl again. It's not that at all. It's saying you can still appreciate that, and you can also say, look at what's gone into the 3000. Look at, you know, like, and I know that you're big on like when you're using effects, that all of that. So that's the thing, especially for someone like you who you can fully utilize it all. It's definitely, mate.
Yeah,
just embrace it
for real. Like, I done my research on YouTube. Like, when I found out they were coming out, I was like, oh, okay. I was a bit disappointed. I really thought they would just be called the Nexus 3s. To be honest, like, but at the same time, seeing them in person. Like, have you seen them in person?
I haven't.
Not yet. I think they got them in here.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, you
hold the phone. Sorry. Because you know what? I'm basically trying to do a little project in it, and I literally made a list on Google Keep Notes to find out what which pirates in London actually have them.
Yeah, do you know what? They have got them here.
Oh, they actually do.
Yeah, but again, like you have to pay more for the studio with the 3000s.
Oh,
so again, if you get me to 1,000 subscribers and I can monetize, I might be able to afford it. Come on, make my dream come true. I just want to see a CDJ 3000.
Yes, word to Logan, support it. Honestly, but they only have them. Yeah, they have them in six pirates around London still.
Right.
But yeah, man, no, definitely. Like, thing is, I don't know how are you trying to get onto the technical side?
Yeah, I've been messing around sort of at home with different things. With I've been trying to sort of get into like looping and slip loops and that kind of thing, and bringing them, because that's something that I've never really sort of got involved with.
Okay.
And it's just, and at the minute, the way that I'm testing it, because I think I'm not yet ready to just chuck it into a set. I'll just be like, basically, whenever my missus is in the room, I'll just be pressing some buttons, and I look around, and if she's like, yeah, then I think, right, I'll use that. And if I look and she's still scrolling for Insta, I'm like, that didn't do enough.
Damn one.
Do you know what I mean? No. Seriously,
I hear what you're saying, but you know what? You got to be able to be the judge of it as well.
Yeah, of course.
Like, for me personally, bro, I like, fair enough, if I get a reception when I do it around someone, then cool. But all that loops and shit, I can't lie. For me personally, my advancement of being, can I say that? No, wait. No, I will say that, because I do feel like I've leveled myself up a bit. I would say that has come from production.
Yeah.
Because the use of samples, like the way how I decided to sample a lot of the stuff that I do is literally by using Rekordbox, slapping a loop on, maybe do a key change, slap an effect on, and just being like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can definitely see that working in this kind of style of a tune. Yeah. And then from there, I was just like, raw, you know what? I can just do this on a CDJ. Like, you get me? Why not? And
that's interesting, actually. Yeah.
And at first, like, I was really like, okay, you know what? I don't think I can ever use CDJs again. Like, my controller, I'm just so used to it. But now it's the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, man. But like, that's it. That's it for me, man. I just started to get more into production, and from there it just made my understanding of how to mix. No, it it made me. How can I put this? It just allowed me to be more creative with my mixes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then on top of that as well, I just watch other people and listen to other people. Like I said, Conair, like you get me, he's a sick guy, and like, the thing is, I can't lie, I've stood behind him and he moves so fucking quick. Like, I think I'm not actually peeping my shoulder, but I've just seen how quickly he moves. I'm just like,
yeah,
what the fuck, man? You get me, him, One Bok. You get me, Bok. Yeah, big up Bok though. Yeah, man. You get me, very technical person as well. Like, you get me, like when you done my swoosh show last month, like literally, I was just in awe. Like, things I knew what to expect anyway because I did some research on his latest sets just to see where he was at. And like, I was just like, raw. Like, I was, because like there was but he done this thing for the Fold, right?
Yeah.
And like, there's a camera facing the decks and another one in the bird's eye view. And like, obviously with the bird's eye view, you can see what he's doing. You can see like the information on the screen, but it still was like, fuck, like how, you know? But you know what? That all being said, what makes DJing very important is selection.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and like obviously he has selection, obviously owning his 2 labels and that. And so obviously that all makes sense. But that's the thing, like for me, I just feel like, for me personally, I just felt like I can't just run music. You know, and fair enough, if the occasion is just that, then cool. And even if I do just run music, I might just do it. I might just put 2 tunes together which just work and maybe the same key.
Yeah.
Or something that's in my head saying in the same key. I was saying to Lozzie C, how I don't how I don't like go on record books to check the key information.
Yeah.
He just said shut up. And I was like, what? I was like, but I really don't. Like, the thing is, like, I've said this before. I can't remember when I said it, but like I just make blends in my head.
Yeah.
Or the blend might just come in my head. I'm just like, oh shit. I was just like, raw. And I was like, okay, I've got to give that a go. And I'll just give it a go, and then more time it works. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, but that's it. Like, thing is,
testing it out, trial
that's
and error.
it. But trial and error, exactly. Yeah, man, it's mad. It's very, very, very mad.